Let's continue our election coverage now. My guest this morning is someone who has represented his constituency for virtually 20 years. First elected in North Douglas in 1996, and he's become very much established in the area ever since. At times an outspoken critic of government, certainly someone who doesn't let go easily of certain issues. Perhaps that's something to do with his karate qualification. Back at the hustings again. Good morning, John Houghton.
Good morning, James.
Well, we can't keep you out of the news, can we?
We can't keep out of the news. No, it appears that the way Timble seems to be treating me at the moment, not although that it is unlawful, but it is improper. And of course, I will continue to protest my innocence because I am innocent until I get the result that I want and the people of North Douglas want.
There's only one thing worse than being talked about it, of course, Mr. Houghton. Tell me, for all the sort of shouting from the rooftops, what would you say you've done for your constituents over the past 5 years? How effective have you been?
What I've done for my constituents is I've represented them at the highest office as far as in Tynwald to the very best of my ability. I'm bound to say that, but I have. And the results are there. I've brought over the 20 years of my time, I mean, if you look at over that long period of time, 4 terms, I have represented my constituents by bringing legislation forward that has protected them. That is the Public Order Act, the Noise Act that has been brought in, which has made people's lives much better living, especially late into the evening.
Last time I remember, I think you said something along the lines of the government was the weakest government you'd known. What would you say about the government over the past 5 years?
Not good at all. They haven't really achieved anything. They'd like to say they could, but of course, because there's been no drive or ambition in the Council of Ministers over that period of time, nothing really has happened. There's been a terrific waste of money, continued waste of money, and of course we only need to look at the Department of Economic Development to understand that, of course, over the time that it has operated. Now, I appreciate we haven't got much time to discuss that now, but of course, perhaps in later interviews I'll be able to discuss that more.
There are more in-depth election programmes, of course. Isn't it up to you, though, Mr. Houghton, as part of the House, to ensure the government's not so weak?
And that is precisely what I've been doing. As an absolutely effective, I feel, an effective and lively backbencher, I have put a number of questions down, searching questions down, which I feel is one of the reasons why Tynwald went against me some time ago in May, when, of course, I was looking for their support over an adverse report against me that was flawed and out of order.
Of course, you're adamant you're right and they're all wrong. That's in the report.
It's not a case of that, James. It's a case of 3 people put that report together, and they put it together with evidence that was brought to them that was flawed. Evidence that was flawed and easily questionable, but Tynwald decided to support it because that's one on John Houghton. Well, if that's the case, that's fine. That is absolutely fine because, of course, I'm here to represent my constituents, not get on with cronyism and buddies in Tynwald.
Would you take the opportunity at the final Tynwald next month to apologise so you could go to the electorate without this cloud hanging over you?
James, how can I apologise for something that I haven't done? I haven't done anything wrong. There is no evidence to support that I've done anything wrong. And as sooner that I get some justice in this matter, by having this matter properly investigated by a proper person such as the High Bailiff, and I won't rest until I get there, and people like Tony Wilde need to know that justice is coming for them, and he will face justice at some point in time.
Well, without personalising it, do you expect to be re-elected?
I hope to be re-elected, but that is in the gift of my voters.
Oh, and why should the people of North Douglas invest their vote in you? What's in it for them?
Because I'm a man of integrity, I'm also a very determined person, and I get things done.